All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're uncovering the absolutely fascinating world of chemical separation. We're going to be looking at a complete lab experiment originally presented by Dr. Chem that focuses on analyzing drug components using thin layer chromatography, or TLC for short. Basically, we get to play lab detectives today and see exactly how scientists identify completely unknown substances. It's kind of like magic, but, science.
So picture this. You're a forensic chemist, right? And you're handed this tiny vial containing an unknown, maybe even dangerous white powder straight from a crime scene. Now, how do you definitively prove what it actually is, especially when it looks exactly like baking powder or sugar or maybe a dozen different illicit narcotics? Well, we're going to learn the exact lab technique used to solve this kind of high-stakes forensic puzzle.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, TLC, the core principle. Then, essential chromatography components. After that, running the TLC experiment, followed by the HPTLC upgrade. Then we'll look at forensic drug analysis. And finally, troubleshooting lab fails.
All right, Section 1. TLC, the core principle. So, thin layer chromatography. At its heart, it's essentially a physical method of separation. It works by distributing the components of a mixture between two very distinct phases. You have a stationary solid phase and a moving liquid mobile phase. The absolutely crucial point to grasp here is that this separation relies entirely on how different analytes climb up the plate at different rates. Because different molecules have varying affinities for the solid plate versus the moving liquid, they quite literally get pulled apart over time.
I find it really helps to think of it like track and field. Your stationary phase, which is usually a thin layer of silica gel, is the track. Now, silica is highly polar, so it really wants to grab onto polar molecules. Then you have your mobile phase, your liquid solvent system. Think of this as the wind, pushing the runners along. If a molecule in your sample is highly polar, it's going to grip that silica track tightly and move pretty slow. But if it's nonpolar, that solvent wind easily sweeps it right up the plate. The balance between those two forces, that's exactly what creates our separation.
Moving right along to Section 2, essential chromatography components.
Before we run our race, we need our physical toolkit. Based on Dr. Camera's protocol, you really must have these 4 core elements for a successful TLC run. First, your inert plates, usually glass or aluminum coated with silica. Second, your TLC chamber, which is really just a sealed glass container. Third, your high-purity mobile phase solvent. But hey, pay super close attention to this fourth one, the moistened filter paper. A lot of beginners skip this, but honestly, it's a real game changer. Adding filter paper to the chamber creates a reproducible, saturated vapor atmosphere. This stops the solvent from evaporating off the plate during the run, which totally prevents those weird edge effects and keeps your chemical spots from tailing and smearing all over the place.
Okay, Section 3. Running the TLC experiment.
Let's get into the action and walk through the actual steps. Here's the standard protocol. First, we take a pencil, and I mean always a pencil, never, ever a pen, and we draw a faint starting line at the bottom of the plate. Then, we carefully spot our unknown samples right onto it. Next, we place that plate into our saturated solvent chamber. You've got to make sure the liquid level is below your starting line or you'll ruin the whole thing. Then, we just let the solvent rise up the plate entirely via capillary action. Finally, we pull the plate out, dry it off, and use visualization techniques like UV light or specific chemical stains to actually see where our newly separated components ended up. And once we can actually see those spots, that's when we get to uncover a unique mathematical fingerprint. We're talking about the retention factor equation, or RF. It's actually super simple. You just divide the distance your specific chemical traveled by the total distance the solvent front traveled. So say the solvent moved 10 centimeters and your drug component moved 5 centimeters, boom, your RF value is 0.5. The beauty of this is that under identical lab conditions, a specific drug will always have the exact same RF value. That's how we definitively identify it.
Which brings us to Section 4, the HPTLC upgrade. Now let's see how this classic method evolved into a serious high-tech powerhouse. Enter high-performance thin layer chromatography, or HPTLC. This brings massive leaps in precision. HPTLC upgrades the entire process. Instead of using standard silica, it uses high-resolution, ultra-small particle silica for a dramatically sharper separation. And instead of you manually spotting samples with a pipette and hoping your hand is steady, it uses automated applicators to spray perfectly uniform bands. Then, instead of just eyeballing the spots, HPTLC uses UV-visible densimetric scanners to accurately quantify the exact concentration of the drug on the plate. It literally takes a simple visual test and transforms it into rigorous, quantifiable data. Let's apply this in Section 5, Forensic Drug Analysis.
So, different drugs require entirely unique chemical systems to coax them apart. What we're looking at here is TLC System 1, which is specifically calibrated for identifying LSD. Forensic analysts use a highly specific mobile phase for this, exactly 1 part chloroform to 1 part acetone. Now, once the plate develops, LSD actually isn't visible to the naked eye, so the analyst has to visualize it. They do this by looking at the plate under long or short-wave UV light or by spraying it with chemical reagents like acidified iodoplatinate. That reagent chemically reacts with the LSD, essentially lighting it up and revealing its exact location on the plate.
Now let's switch gears to TLC System 3 and see how this works for an entirely different class of narcotics. Isolating complex opiates, things like heroin, morphine, codeine, opium, that requires a much more intricate mobile phase. For this, lab detectives use a precisely measured mixture of toluene, acetone, ethanol, and concentrated ammonia. After that solvent does its heavy lifting to separate these really closely related opiate molecules, they apply a visualization agent called Dragendorf spray reagent. This turns those specific opiate spots visible, so their RF values can be calculated and absolutely verified.
Finally, Section 6, Troubleshooting Lab Fails.
Because let's be real, science rarely goes perfectly the very first time. It is incredibly frustrating to carefully run an experiment, wait patiently for the plate to develop, open up that chamber, and just see a massive, messy streak running up your plate instead of a nice, crisp, identifiable spot. But the good news? In chemistry, there's always a logical reason behind a failure.
Troubleshooting is really just reverse engineering your mistakes. If you get streaking, well, it usually means you overloaded the plate by applying way too much sample, or maybe you picked a solvent system with the wrong polarity. What if you're seeing weird, smeared blue spots everywhere? Yeah, that's the classic rookie blunder of drawing your start line with a leaky ink pen. Remember, ink is made of compounds that separate just like your sample. If you get an uneven solvent front, it usually means your plate was leaning sideways against the chamber wall. And if you have absolutely no spots at all, ouch, you probably filled the chamber with way too much solvent and your sample just completely dissolved into the liquid pool before it even had a chance to travel up the silica track.
So, we've covered the core principles, these specific lab protocols from Dr. Chem for forensic analysis, and even how to troubleshoot those inevitable hiccups. As green chemistry and digital imaging continue to push this technique into the future, we're even seeing HPTLC hyphenated directly into mass spectrometry now, so you can instantly identify the exact molecular weight of a spot. The power to decode the chemical world is quite literally right at your fingertips. With all this in mind, what hidden chemical mysteries are you inspired to separate next?